welcome back to my channel. It's the Barbie Guru here. Today's video we are talking about cycle syncing. Yes, girl, you need to learn about cycle syncing as a woman. If you have been feeling like you are just going through moods every month, every other week, your mood is always changing and you just do not know why, it's because of the phases of your cycle. What is so beautiful about nature and what is so beautiful about women is that we align with nature. We align with the seasons of nature. As women, our cycle has 4 seasons, 4 very different phases that have a mind of their own. The first one is your menstrual phase. This is your inner winter. And we're going to get into that more deeply about what that really means. Your second phase is your inner spring. This is your follicular phase. Thirdly, we have the inner summer as women as well. This phase is known as your ovulatory phase. Fourthly, we have our very own personal inner fall. The inner fall phase is known as your luteal phase. Now that you know what each phase is, let's learn more about how we can sync our lives with our cycle so that we can have the most fulfilling, satisfying 30 days out of the month and in our cycle. So let's just get right into it, girl. So the first phase that I mentioned is the menstrual phase. This is your time when you are menstruating, you are on your menses, and you are normally bleeding. This for many women can last anywhere from the range of 5 to 7 days. So the max for this cycle is typically no more than 7 days long on average. It's very normal to feel that you don't have energy and that you do not want to be productive when you are menstruating. It's because your hormone levels are very low, all of them. You don't have energy. So what you need to do is be prioritizing rest. This is why it's the inner winter. Most people in winter, they normally go in and they get their rest because they're losing daylight, which causes you to lose energy, and it causes us to resort to going indoors in a hibernation mode. So that's the same thing with our cycle as women. When we are on our menses, that time of the month, it's very normal for you to spend some time alone. There's nothing wrong with that. Take some time for yourself. Take some time to isolate, have strong boundaries with your friend, with your man even, with people in your life who have exceedingly high demands and expectations of you. You don't have to explain to them that you are menstruating because that's not necessarily their business. However, you can just say, no, I actually do not want to partake in this event. I actually am already scheduled. I have things to do, when really you're at home, you're resting, you're recovering so you can get back to the real you. So some great things to eat when you are on your menses phase is foods that are super high in iron. You need a lot of iron, and it is because you are losing your iron day by day, especially if you are menstruating and your menstruation typically is heavy. You are losing all of your iron, and iron is a very needed supplement. Some people are already anemic and they have low iron in them already, so make sure that you are supplementing this with iron rich foods. Okay, iron-rich foods are the way to go to best support you. Warm foods are what you need to be consuming. Magnesium-rich food as well. Okay, so all of this can best help you successfully thrive in your menstruation. Do not take it too heavy and too hard on yourself. Be very gentle. I need you ladies to be very gentle through these 5 to 7 days, or however long your cycle is. Of course, at the end of your cycle, you will see yourself naturally regaining your energy, but for the first 3 to 4 days is when it feels very heavy. It feels very heavy. You may not even want to rise out of your bed for the day, and that's completely fine. Some great exercises is anything that is low impact, anything that doesn't exert your body too much and demands much out of you. So some great things to partake in when it comes to exercising: yoga, walking. These are very fulfilling hobbies or exercise routines to remain your fitness through your menstrual cycle, but not give your body too much that it cannot handle. Okay, so that is your inner winter phase. It's your menstruation. So we're going to move along into our second phase of the cycle. This is our follicular phase. This is when we have stimulating FSH within us, which is your follicle stimulating hormone as women. So thanks to this, we are naturally getting our energy back, our energy levels are increasing, and we also are coupled with estrogen and testosterone coming in this phase. All of these three supporting hormones are boosting our libido, is boosting our mood, is boosting the way we feel. Our energy levels are starting to rapidly increase, and we get back to feeling like our normal happy selves. So as a result of this, you might incite to be creative during this time, very social, outgoing, happy, balanced. And in this time is the perfect time to see yourself creating something and being very productive. So this is your inner spring, which means it's time for a fresh new start. It's time for new beginnings and for you to start a new chapter within your life. So any project that you want to start, if you have a business idea you want to create, if you have a new project you want to work on, if there is anything within you that you have been holding back on, your inner spring is the perfect time to bring that idea to fruition. That is because during our spring season, we have everything that we need to support us through this journey and chapter. This phase typically lasts from 7 to 14 days. So you have a full week to fit anything into your schedule that requires max attention, max energy, and it's really tedious. But the thing is, you typically are not going to feel thoughtful. You're going to feel that you could do anything, sort of like a superwoman in this period. So it's really good for beginning new phases of your chapter. Great foods to eat in the follicular phase of your cycle is lean foods and proteins. These will best support you throughout this phase and help you have optimal life force, optimal energy within you for you to be able to sustain yourself throughout this phase completely. And I also wanted to touch on cervical mucus as a woman, which is also very important. Throughout your follicular phase, you're moving into the cycle that prepares you for female reproduction and conception. So it's going to begin, your cervical mucus is going to begin to be producing more directly after your period or directly after your menstruation. So you will see your cervical mucus becoming sticky. It's going to be normal for it to be white, sort of like egg whites, and it will be very creamy, okay, and thick. So those are normal signs to see following your menstruation. The third phase of the cycle is your ovulation, your ovulatory phase. This is the shortest phase of our cycles as women. It lasts no more than 3 days. This is the perfect phase to do anything. You become invincible, okay? This is your magnetic era. This is your magnetic phase of your cycle. When you have the most of everything, okay, your libido's at its highest, your hormones are at its very highest, okay, and in turn you can feel like you can do anything, okay. This is also the perfect time for conception, pregnancy, if you're trying for a child. This is that perfect time to do that, because what happens is you are releasing an egg from your ovary throughout these 2 to 3 days, okay. So you are very fertile. This is the most fertile you're going to be within the whole entire cycle, okay. In turn, you will see your cervical mucus is going to be very slippery. and this is very normal. It's going to produce more than normal. It's going to be a slippery consistency. It will look white and clear in color, okay? And those are very normal. That just means that your hormones are there, they're boosted, and you can conceive. This is the perfect time for reproduction and getting pregnant. So that's all that means. Those are just good signs there. So no need to worry about that. It typically goes away after we move into the 4th phase of the cycle. Great foods to support your cruciferous vegetables. So anything green is a great sign through this phase. You really need to make sure you are grabbing as much green foods in your diet as you see, okay? So spinach is amazing, very healthy, so many benefits for you, especially during this time. Kale, arugula, anything green is going to be your best friend throughout this time. Also, in your ovulation, like I said, this is your magnetic phase. You have a lot of charm, you feel really good about yourself, and you have just this burst of energy. Like I said, your hormones are all there, okay? So what this does is give you the energy that you need to sustain yourself, be highly efficient, highly productive, highly social because you have a natural exuberance to you through these 3 days. So what I would say is plan any social gatherings. Make your social gatherings happen through these phases. If you want to have a girls' night, if you want to have a fun date, if you have a business meeting, you will excel if they are scheduled in your ovulatory phase. And like I said, of course, if you want to incite any type of romance in your life, now is the perfect time. When it comes to exercise, you can go hard, okay? You can do the most extensive, the most laborious, challenging exercises in this phase, okay? So heavy lifting, heavy cardio, anything that is challenging for you, do it in this time, okay? It's perfect. I'm telling you, Pilates, now is the time to do it. Your body is going to feel amazing. It's actually going to thank you for doing it throughout this time. All right, let's get into the last final stage of our cycle. That is your luteal phase. Your luteal phase, let me tell you, your luteal phase is going to feel like a bit of emotional roller coaster. This is when you start to feel confused, lose your energy, you don't really know what's going on, you get moody sometimes, even drowsy. You cannot figure out why. You just had energy the other day, last week, and now all of a sudden you're crying randomly and you're going through all these mood swings. It's because you are in your luteal phase of your cycle. What happens in the luteal phase is that you lose all of your estrogen, okay? And you are supplied with a bunch of progesterone. Estrogen supplies you energy. Without your estrogen, you don't have any energy. You are in a state of flow. You lose your max peak of energy, you're calmer, you're a lot smoother, and it's because of your progesterone hormone that is present in this phase, okay? So be gentle with yourself. A lot of women in this phase, they tend to self-sabotage and they start to have conflicting emotions. And please, I'm asking you to fight through this. Do not sabotage yourself. You're doing amazing. Be very polite with yourself, be very gentle. Your body is only feeling this way because it is preparing you for your menstruation that is coming up in a week and a half. So you're going to lose all of that energy, you're going to calm down, and this is a perfect time for cleaning your house, delegating tasks, any tasks that you've had on your to-do list that you just have kept putting it off. This is the perfect time to accomplish it. Just do duties that maybe you have procrastinated on. Now is the perfect time. You've already had your perfect time for socializing this month. You've had your time for your energy, your stamina, your high libido. Now is just some time to take some time for you and reset in the fall season. And that is what this is for. Some great foods to have in this time is also magnesium. Make sure you are sufficient with your vitamin C and B6 throughout this time. this will have you feeling complete, and you won't have to lose any more energy or deplete more energy from yourself for not sustaining the right diet. A lot of vitamin C is great. Oranges, orange juice, anything citrusy will really be your best friend through this time of your luteal. You are preparing for your cycle, so you will have natural PMS symptoms throughout this phase. It's completely normal to feel symptoms of your cycle prematurely in this phase. Tender breasts are very normal. Headaches, that's very normal for this phase in this time. I also want to mention that your cervical mucus will start to begin to dry and wither away. You will not be producing much wetness or much creaminess, slipperiness in your cervical mucus as you were before, because what your body is doing is preparing you to release your bleeding and your menstruation. So the cervical mucus is being dried up and replaced with your natural blood that flows out of you for your menstruation cycle. And once again, completely normal to support yourself throughout this time. Just make sure you're practicing a lot of self-compassion, gratitude, journaling, reflecting, because you will feel yourself naturally want to be socially inhibited again. And that's completely normal. Like I said, this is your fall phase, and what fall is for is resetting, refocusing anyway. So I want you to think of that and keep that in mind when you are in the luteal phase of your cycle. Alright ladies, so that was everything for my 4 phases of your menstrual cycle video. I hope you all enjoyed this so much and learned about cycle syncing and how to best adapt cycle syncing to your very own personal needs as a woman, and supporting yourself through this journey as a woman that we have to go through every month. So I hope this was super helpful. I hope you took some great gems away from this, and as always, I will see you loves on my very next video. Be on the lookout for it. Subscribe to my channel to stay updated, and leave a comment. I would love to see what you have to add. So I'll see you girls next time. Bye loves.